What's up, guys? Mr. Knows Hoops back today with another video. And guys, before we get into anything, I want to thank you all. We are at 900 subscribers, meaning we are 100 away from the big 1K. I know we can hit that goal, so don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends. If anyone you know is into hoops, send this their way. But today we're back with another how good are insert team here. And today we're doing that with the Sacramento Kings. Now you might be wondering, Emser, why this team? Well, in my Discord, which I'll leave in the description this time, we talk hoops in there a bunch, all different sports, whatever. But we were talking about, like kind of power ranking teams going into the season. And the Kings were a team that my buddies seemed pretty high on. So we're going to get into how good I think they are and how good we all think they are. So, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get right into how good are the Sacramento Kings really. Now, obviously, the first piece we got to talk about is Demar Derozan. Gonna get the screen here from Vooch, right? Man's closing out, double, right? That's a tough bucket. And that's what Demar Derozan, I'm just going to start off automatically as a Bulls fan who has, for better and for worse, seen Demar Derozan close and win a lot of games for us. He is someone that if you really need that bucket, at least in the regular season, that brother's going to get it. By hook or by crook, he'll find a way to make it happen, right? And again, I think that's huge because when you think about the wings in Sacramento before, right, it was basically you had De'Aaron and Sabonis as the 1 and the 5. Those two would kind of work together. Then you would work out of the idea of basically you had Herter/Monk. Then you had Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes. Now, Keegan Murray can kind of create for himself. Harrison Barnes really can't. And now you have someone in DeMar who really can self-create, right? And even here, OG on him, right? But does a good job of making sure that OG is within arm's length, right? He has to step back a little bit, not to give up a foul. And again, clutch time, tough bucket. And again, we're going to get more into like how well I think they'll fully fit, right? But even here, right, you're going to see DeMar's sunk into the corner. And it makes sense, right? He's not a 3-ball guy. But even here, if this is the Kings, right, this could be De'Aaron. This could be Kevin Herter. Those are 3 balls. All day, every day. Right, but here, right, DeMar's the guy. He needs to be the one to get us buckets. But I think that's the best thing. And then DeMar is, I think, a solid passer, playmaker. Like, this is a great play, right? Now, they don't necessarily, I mean, you have guys like Trey Lyles and stuff on the team, but they don't have necessarily a big popper. Obviously, like, Sabonis can shoot a 3, but that's not really his game. Right, but again, I think if you run this idea with like a Keegan Murray, right, that little pick and pop, you can run many different kind of lineup formations to where you're maximizing the value of the DeRozan. Now, I think the only negative we could see from DeMar and with the Kings in general, Sabonis and DeRozan kind of like to operate within the same realm. Sabonis obviously isn't necessarily a mid-range shooter, but he prefers to work within the perimeter, get to the paint, right? And DeRozan obviously prefers to work in the midi and get to the paint if he needs to, and he's not that big on threes. Now, you have guys like De'Aaron who now have put up way more threes with each passing season and has gotten significantly better at shooting them. But even then, De'Aaron kind of likes to get to where? The midi or the rim. So I think the only concern I do have is that all 3 of the big, like kind of their big 3, all like to operate within the same space, similar to the Pelicans almost, right, that I talked about last video. They all sort of love to operate within that little same space, which could make it really, really tough on offense at times. But then obviously, I want to get into what, guys like Sabonis bring to this team. And I think it's just good. I think for dudes like DeRozan, playmaking-wise, it's going to be huge. Right? Going to get the ball. Even just as a scorer also, right? But even here, DHO sets it up. Keegan Murray can get that little screen. I think we're going to see stuff like that, but with the DeRozan possibly in the midi. Because even if you bring a guy over, there's probably going to be someone like Fox or Keegan open that they could kick to. And even here, right? Like the reading of space. This should be DeMar. Because if this is DeMar, a guy's going to respect it because it's still DeMar Derozan. Right? De'Aaron, 3. KD took too long to get over, right? Again, Sabonis as a big facilitator, creator is really, really good. I mean, the brother made All NBA after being robbed of not making All-Star. Gets the screen here, right? staggered action, gets it to De'Aaron Midi. You're telling me right now, I promise y'all, I mean this wholeheartedly. I know for a damned fact I am seeing this play with Demar Derozan. Oh my goodness, I promise you I am. You're telling me right now DeMar DeRozan ain't doing this? Screen around, screen. That's a DeMar shot play every freaking time. I promise you. Like, every time. I don't even think like that's a question. And then also, yes, Sabonis as a scorer, right? Like, to operate in the paint, I think it's going to be nice for them, right? Because, again, even if you do have those midi guys and they bring over extra help, Sabonis is more than capable of making that extra read that I think can really help elevate them. So they're going to get the ball here, right? Sabonis, and he just starts taking it up, right? Gets it up, to the next man. Top of the key. Bang. Pass. Goes again, right? The double screen navigation. Back out to Sabonis. Now, this is going to be important. I think Sabonis in the midi is going to be important. And I'm not saying he needs to jack him all the time, but I think I've talked about this on the channel before. One of the more infamous moments in the playoffs from 2 years ago, when they faced the Warriors in the first round as a 3 seed, Draymond Green, I'll never forget this, Looney, whoever it was. Basically, if Sabonis was not immediately in the paint near the rim, they unironically treated him like Ben Simmons. They just gave him space. Like, they refused to respect him outside. Now, again, I'm not saying he's got to be like a Jokic or Embiid and dribble, a bunch and then, get some crazy midi up. But this team will not work if Sabonis is not respected as a scorer. Because if they get into the playoffs, right, like how high do I think they could get? If they get to the playoffs and you have a whole, defender just basically able to roam / not worry about what Sabonis is doing, that's not gonna help guys like DeMar. Absolutely not. And that's certainly not gonna help De'Aaron Fox. So again, I think Sabonis this season needs to really look at that mid-range game and think about taking it to the next level, because I think that's something that we can really see change / facilitate the way that this team plays. So in terms of where I think these pieces fit, like DeRozan, I think provided them a wing that they kind of wanted / needed for a while. Right now, he's not a great 3-ball shooter / choosing to shoot the 3-ball, which might hurt them at times offensively, but they also now have a legitimate wing self-creator that they did not really have before. And then Sabonis, I think, needs to solidify himself as a scorer, not in terms of like 25 a game, but something where teams cannot just go, okay, you're not at the paint, I'm sinking on you, I do not respect what you're doing, and because of that, now the offense is already going to be looking weird, right? And then De'Aaron Fox. This dude, he's nice, right? Like, the screen action, him and Sabonis, like that little duo. The speed, right, to be able to get to the rim. Now, I think that's going to be important too, because we know how DeRozan likes to operate, and he's not always just going to sit in the corner / I'm curious how they respect it, but even here, Harrison Barnes can shoot, and they're not really going that, crazy on it. But again, right, midi. By the way, tough and one. Right, we're going to see here DeRozan, De'Aaron, screen action, fights over, wide open space, because again, Draymond's sitting with Sabonis because he's in the paint. He has to respect that, and there's an and one. Like, these are all sort of tough buckets, right? And even here, De'Aaron recovers, catch and shoot. The versatility as a 3-ball scorer is going to be huge too, because I think when you have guys like DeRozan who can get it in the 2, if you have De'Aaron close enough near him, he can sort of bail out DeMar at times and be like, boom, I got you right here, catch and shoot 3, or just a 3-ball in like. De'Aaron is still one of the more clutch players in basketball by the numbers, right? And then just offensively, what this guy brings is just, and then he's still a good playmaker himself, right? He's going to get the ball here as a bonus. This is a beautiful kick, right? Like that's perfect, like IQ, like, right? They come over to double, right? They fight over the screen, double. Jose is stopping the cut here by Harrison Barnes. bang, wide open. Right? Those are threes you just can't give up. And then defensively, I still think De'Aaron's a little underrated too. Like, look at that, man. Like, his ability to read passing lanes and get steals, I think, is going to be crucial for this team. So, obviously, with the title of this video, the idea is, how good are the Sacramento Kings really? I think this team is really good, but they do smell to me a little bit of a 7 to 6 seed at best. I think their defensive woes can really hurt them. Now, they could do more like the Pacers, I guess, and go all in on offense. But then you have teams, right? So it's like, I don't think they'll have a better record than like the Nuggets, the Thunder. I don't think they'll have a better record than the Grizzlies, personally. I don't think they'll have a better record than the Suns. Them and the Pelicans are a toss-up, right? And I don't know if they'll have a better record than the Mavericks either. So there's already 5 to 6 teams that I think could have a better record than this Kings team. Now, the question just is, I guess, how prolific / high level is the offense? If it's similar to 2 years ago, and they're like the best offense in the league, even though that's kind of hard to do because now it seems like every year the best offense in the league is the best offense of all time by the numbers. Something in this team sort of screams like they'll either be exceedingly good, like, oh my goodness, this Kings team is like the 4 seed in the West. How did they do this? Or I could be like, they had a good season, right? They're like the 6 seed, 7 seed. They're in the play-in. And they might just be a first round out. Let me know what you guys think down below. How good do you think the Sacramento Kings will be? As always, guys, this is Demar Derozan. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on the goal to 1K, baby. Have a good rest of your day, guys. Peace out.